Bow Ties and Books is officially now Bow Ties and Cocktails? Huh? So you like walk by and no, you're totally, I mean, you're here. It's your fault. It's gonna be fine. What up, my channel? Welcome back to another video. I'm Jessie E. This is Ravenclaw, and you're watching This video is going to be my first ever 24-hour readathon. And I am so excited that I'm going to be doing this video with Starlah of StarlahReads. We are going to also make this a little bit competitive, but I will get into that later. Starlah and I have decided that we really want to do a true 24-hour readathon, which means there's going to be no sleeping. There is going to be no running out to get food. There's going to be none of that. If we take a break, we are going to kind of write down why we had to take a break and...
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm trying to be quiet.
As she drags the tea. This is why I can't have nice things. If we take a break, we are basically going to keep a log to keep track of our breaks, why and how, and like the necessity of those breaks. So yeah, we're really excited. We got all of the food that we are going to be making. We are about to do meal prep. We're about to set up the space with lots of blankets and water and everything that we are going to need. We're pretty much acting as if we are on a deserted island and our lives depend on us reading for 24 hours straight. The 5 books that I am going to be reading for this readathon are as follows. And if you want full synopses on these books, I go into a synopsis of each of these books in my October TBR video. The first book that I'm gonna try to read, well, I'm not gonna be reading them in any particular order, but I have The Stars and the Blackness Beneath Them. The Stars and the Blackness Between Them by Junauda Petrus. Theme Music, which is a horror book that I've been highly anticipating. I also have 5 Midnights by Anne Cardinal. And then there is Reverie. Reverie is by Ryan LaSala, and I have heard really good things about this one. And then I am also going to be reading War Girls by Toshi Onyebuchi.
I'm watching. When's a good time to do it?
It's like you saved all of your noisiness.
I know, I was so quiet up until now.
Oh wait, you just...
Why is your ice thing so loud?
Yeah, blame the... Because you're putting it in a metal canister, that's why. We pretty much have 2 measures that we are kind of competing against, and the first one is the amount of pages read. Who is going to read the highest volume of pages during this 24-hour period? And the second measure is active reading time. How...
I didn't know if that's in the I thought maybe it would be outside.
How...
I just wanted my hoodie.
In the event that Starlah reads more than me, which she won't, and...
Alright, you gonna eat those words.
However, I spent more minutes actively reading. We're basically going to be looking at the gap between the 2 scores, and the person who has the biggest gap is the one who is going to lose the competition overall. The loser has to allow the other person, the winner, to tweet something from the loser's account. I'm currently planning what I'm going to tweet when I beat Starlah, because she is destined, I mean, she's just set up for failure.
Rude!
Because of who she is as a person.
Oh my
so
God.
Okay.
Are you trying to like make me hate myself?
I'm just really competitive.
Bullying. I get it. I'm awful.
It's not that you're awful, it's just that
I'm better than you.
in a competition.
Sure. Again, okay, yeah, you know what? Build this up, get everybody, talk your talk, and it's just gonna be a bigger fall when you lose.
I'm not gonna lose. Okay, so we are going to begin meal prepping, and then Starlah is going to kind of give herself the pep talk that she needs. Yeah, but you're gonna lose though. So yeah, I gotta plan my, you know, my winning tweet message, and
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us.
all right, y'all, we are about ready to start. We've decided to start at 11:30. Our food has been prepped. We have snacks behind us. I'm so freaking excited. I've never read for 24 hours straight, and the longest time that I've ever read, the longest period, is 17 hours. Right around, I think it was like 13 hours of reading, I started to have auditory hallucinations. I started to hear music that wasn't playing. And this was in high school, and it was Breaking Dawn, and I just wanted to read it all in one sitting because the book had just been released. Like, it got released at Barnes & Noble, and I wanted to read it right away. So I'm really curious to see if I'm gonna have auditory hallucinations again. I do get auditory hallucinations when I'm extremely sleep deprived, and it's almost always music that I hear that isn't actually playing. So really excited. I'm gonna be starting with War Girls. I'm not quite sure how much I'm going to update y'all. I might try and update you between every 2 or every 4 hours. We will see.
I can't focus. I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head.
So it's 8 in the morning. My eyes hurt. We did end up falling asleep. We fell asleep for about 3 hours until I fell asleep. I can't function. I'm tired. Before I fell asleep, I read 2-page 260 in War Girls, so I am over halfway done. I'm going to continue pushing on with this book. I am going to be deducting 3 hours from the tracker, and just continuing on in my shame.
I've been stuck going my way, but it's not like I need it.
Hello again, y'all. It is 10:33. There's Starla. Wait, did you leave? Oh, no, you're still there. I like can't see you because I don't have like. Well, I didn't know if you were like. I don't have my glasses on. Let me live. So we're both very loopy and we're starting to get hungry. So we are about to eat the amazing breakfast burritos that we have prepped. They are chorizo, garlic, and potatoes. So super excited for those.
Cheese.
Oh, and cheese. Yes, all the cheese.
Eggs.
Oh, did I not say eggs?
No.
Oh my god.
Okay, we're both loopy.
Yeah, as you can see, I function incredibly well on minimal amounts of sleep. I am 100 pages from completing War Girls. I'm really, really enjoying this book. But my favorite part about the book thus far is how completely well characterized these girls are. Just how wonderfully fierce and well-rounded and emotional and just all of the things that girls are. It's fantastic. I'm incredibly impressed with Anya Bucci's writing of women and girls. And after we get our food, I'm going to start Reverie.
I just need to clear my head.
You know who's gonna find out? Me. Bingo. So, what new gadgets have you got for me?
Okay, so I just had to pop on and give an update for Reverie because this book is freaking hilarious. I'm on page 45 and I have laughed way more than is absolutely normal for me reading any book. I did have to take like an hour break because I forgot that I had a massage that was scheduled. So I went and did that, and now Starlah and I are back to reading. But I started Reverie and I'm enjoying it 10,000 times more than I thought I would. I'm really liking all of the mystery and the creepy and the atmosphere of the book. You really just get thrown into everything that's happening in Kane's world, and the author does a really good job of showing instead of telling. Writing is just really creepy and disorienting, and I'm really enjoying it, but it's also quite funny, and there's a lot of really bad puns and like dad jokes, except the mom is the one who makes the dad jokes. And I literally squealed because there is a character that gets introduced really early on named Dr. Posey, and I loved that Kane really wasn't sure what this character's gender identity was, so immediately just started using neutral pronouns and describing Dr. Posey in a neutral way until Kane found out, what pronouns that he used. I thought that was really, really phenomenal. But on top of that, Dr. Posey is just freaking incredible. Both he and Kane are gay, and I'm really enjoying the dialogue between the two of them. And Dr. Posey says this quote. He says this thing on page 19, "Witches interest me. If you look at most female archetypes, such as the mother, the virgin, the whore, their power comes from their relation to men, but not the witch. The witch derives her power from nature. She calls forth her dreams with spells and incantations, with poetry, and I think that's why we are frightened of them. What's scarier to the world of men than a woman limited only by her imagination?" Just freaking chills, and everything that Dr. Posey says is either just full of attitude and snark or just wildly profound. Yeah, I absolutely adore it. And then there was also commentary about how people are uncomfortable with the fact that Dr. Posey is very androgynous presenting, and about how people get very uncomfortable if they can't automatically forcibly label somebody's gender. So I'm just really loving this book so far, and I was not expecting that because YA fantasies have really been letting me down lately, but I'm loving all the queerness, I'm loving all of the jokes, and oftentimes jokes just fall flat for me, but this is spot on. Maybe because my sense of humor is so bad that I can relate. I don't know. The mystery is good. There's a lot of really creepy imagery. Okay, sorry, I thought I was done gushing about Dr. Posey, but I'm not done. I'm going to share with you some of the snarky ass things that he said. There was a police officer that was accompanying Kane who mysteriously vanished, and Kane is like, "Hey, where did that cop go?" He said, "Oh, I don't know. He's occupied with whatever occupies the pathologically heterosexual. He's probably just trying to find one more use for his 3-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, body wash." I freaking cannot. Literally every time Dr. Posey is on the page, he has something snarky and shady to say, and I'm here for it. We've decided to move our reading up here. We're gonna watch the sunset. We're gonna make some cocktails. So yeah, I'm still reading Reverie, loving it. And then I also brought War Girls up here, so I'm hoping to finish at least one of them before we head back to my apartment.
Focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. Oh, clear my head.
Welcome back. Bow Ties and Books is officially now Bow Ties and Cocktails. What we're going to be making today, is this open? It's not open.
Off to a great start.
What we are going to be making today is mezcalitas, which is mezcal and Grand Marnier, lime. You can also make it with Cointreau, but I'm making mine with Grand Marnier, ice, and then salt.
You hurt me, you did, several times. It hurts to admit that we're no different. I find it hard to commit, but you don't even try. Still I'm better with than without you. Oh, I'm on it, I want it, but why do you seem to call it your eyes? I can't tell if you're here.
To me! Have you seen that meme of there's a lady on the bus and she's got her hand out, and then someone just like,
Oh yeah,
she snatches her hand. That was what you just did.
that was
She
me.
said,
Excuse?
to us.
Try again.
This line, it says, oh my God, you killed her so that we could be together, my love.
Oh heck no. Oh hell nah.
YAB. Hey y'all, we are still on the rooftop, but we went inside in the indoor portion of the rooftop just because it got very cold and also very dark outside. I am about 130 pages away from completing Reverie, and I just had to pop on and talk about how much I love and am really enjoying and am so captivated and entertained by this book. Also has a ton of symbolism packed into the story. So there's this quote on page 193 that says, "Understand what it is like to hate the life you are given and the form you take. And I understand the determination to find a new life and to create a new form." And I feel, for me as a trans non-binary person, that quote is so specific to what it's like to live in a body that you're uncomfortable in and to suffer from dysphoria. And so there's just lots of little quotes like that which you can read at face value, but if you choose to read them on a more analytical level, they really do pack a punch. Okay, I realize I didn't give you an example of how this book is extremely gay. So the best example that I can give you, one of the many fantastic examples actually, is how there's a scene where the main character is in mortal danger. He's in danger and so are all of his friends. And there's a line where he said, it's third person, so it says, "Panic seized Kane, but not so much panic that he couldn't notice how good Elliot looked in Regency era formality." So basically, this boy is about to die. He and all of his friends are about to be murdered, and all he can think about instead of their impending doom is how cute this boy is from across the room. Gay.
Do you wanna be out there? You don't need to be Prince Charming to me.
It is now the next day. We concluded our 24-hour readathon at 11:30 p.m. last night. For the readathon, I ended up reading 3 books and starting a 4th. The books were War Girls by Tochi Onyebuchi, Reverie, and After the Flood by Cassandra Montag. I know, her name is super fun to say.
It's German.
Was that really necessary? It means Monday. And I started 5 Midnights. I thought you were throwing up a gang sign for a second. I was like, unnecessary.
Unnecessary promoting your gang in the middle of my video.
Not the time, Starla. I wanted to talk about the breaks that we took. We had our 3-hour nap. I had to leave for an hour and a half to do my massage, and then including prep time, meals, changing of setting, things like that. That was a total of 2 hours, which means that there were 6.5 hours that we did not spend reading total, which made our total active reading time 17.5 hours. We didn't really end up taking breaks that were like unnecessary besides like going to the bathroom and eating, so I don't really have any.
I don't really have any extra, aside from like necessary breaks, we pretty much had the same amount of unnecessary breaks.
Sure.
So I came up with the thing, I think mine was like 17.6 or something.
Okay.
But I was like almost very close. So our time is probably the same.
Sweet.
So I guess it's gonna come down to page count.
Okay. I completed 24 pages from 5 Midnights, 7 pages from After the Flood, because I only had 7 pages left. I completed 394 pages of Reverie and 399 pages of War Girls.
And for mine, I completed 176 pages of The Wicked and the Divine.
So good.
It was so good. 164 pages of Orpheus Girl. I was 33 pages into The Turn of the Key, so I completed 304 pages during the readathon.
Okay, so the total amount of pages that I don't know why I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm gonna get killed. Oh
Right, like stakes.
Well,
are
you're over here
high.
throwing up gang signs, so like I was like, it's where I keep my bullets. It's an inside joke. You don't get it.
Oh, now you're nervous, but beforehand you weren't.
Before you weren't throwing up gang signs, okay?
Whatever.
Like whole ass threats.
Your total page count
Was 824 pages.
My total page count was 828 pages.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Wait, I can read more! I meant to say,
No.
I read to page, just trying to do simple math in my head. I read to page, I was on page 30. I win.
Literally 4 pages more.
Rude. Don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me.
Damn. Sound like a gremlin.
I become a gremlin when I lose.
I'm just gonna put in, I am the champion. We are the champions. No time for lose.
I'm unsubscribing. That's bogus.
I literally did not expect it to be that close. I thought I was gonna landslide you.
I can't wait for you to leave. Just pay. Wow, Starla just showered my table with tea. Literally. All right, well,
Well, I win.
barely. Wait to see
Still
what.
counts as winning.
Can't wait to see what Starla tweets from my Twitter.
I won, and you know.
How many times are you gonna say it?
I'm
They
just gonna
know.
keep saying
They
it.
know.
I won. I'm gonna tweet it. Be like, at Bowtie's Books, I won.
Are you done?
And I won. That is, I literally was not expecting to be that close. When you were saying 820, I was like, oh God. Like, I was getting nervous.
Well, I'm so glad it worked so well for you.
But I won.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm gonna do really quick reviews of these books and then we're gonna go off on our bookstore excursion. After the flood, I said this in my October TBR because when I had filmed that October TBR, I was already 7 pages away from finishing this book. I just intentionally stopped because I was so emotional and loving it and immersed that I just like wasn't ready to finish it. And that is something that rarely happens for me because like I have a need to know. So yeah, but I said this in that video that this is the best non-fantasy dystopian I've ever read. And after finishing it, this is definitely the best non-fantasy dystopian that I've ever read. It's amazing. There were lines in here that literally just broke me. And like when I annotate my books, I annotate very neatly, like I use a ruler or an edge of something so that it's very, very neat. And there was one line in particular in this book, this was before you got here, but there was one line in particular that if you look at it, it's like really sloppily underlined because I was crying so hard. Like this line broke me. So if you like look through my annotations, it's all really neat. And then you get to this one line and it's just like I was drunk. And also I want to say that this is an ARC. They have a different cover now, and the synopsis that's given for this book is the most boring, uninteresting, honestly like poorly written synopsis ever. So like please do not judge this book based off of the synopsis. If you like dystopians, if you liked the 5th season, if you liked if you like that really powerful, distinct female voice, if you like anything that involves going on a journey, missions, found family. It's like if Firefly and the 5th season had a baby and the baby wasn't fantasy. I can't articulate my thoughts on that book because it's so fucking incredible. And I was very close to legitimately just giving this book 5 stars simply because of how gay it was and how funny it was. I ended up giving it a 3.5 stars because I had zero interest in the scenes where they were in the reveries. The reveries are basically people's subconscious projected into reality. And so you can get trapped in other people's reveries. The reveries were not interesting. The fantastical elements of the story, I just didn't feel were excellently written. The contemporary aspects, the conversations, the characters, those were all so much better written. They were very kind of like short, action-y, this happened, like very fast-paced. And so if you enjoy kind of like fast-paced, no-nonsense writing, you'll probably really love this book, but it just wasn't for me. I'm like a bigger fan of like more measured, very descriptive, slower scenes in general. So it's just a personal preference. There were also some logistic concerns. Yeah. Right? Don't you see it? Where it's
Yeah, I was like looking at the other ones and I was like, oh.
Starlah was like looking for the line I was talking about, and
your
she
like
found it.
tab is all crooked and everything.
Because you were just like, broken.
That is funny.
Bruh. That whole book is like that though, where like I would have legit chills because there are these one-liners that are so powerful and like so well sum up the human condition, or that are so revealing as to like the characters' psyches and personas. It's like these characters feel real.
That's awesome.
It was, I can't talk about that book. I also read War Girls by Tochi Onyebuchi, and I'm going to go into like a really deep, in-depth review for my Black Girl Magic vlog, but that's kind of where I'm gonna give you all of my thoughts on like the characters, the themes, things that I found potentially problematic, etc. But I will say that I gave this 4 stars, and also the ending of this book broke me, didn't see it coming. There were a lot of twists that I didn't see coming, but that last...
Is it a standalone?
I believe it is a standalone. After finishing it, I could see how there would be a sequel, but I'm interpreting it as a standalone.
Okay.
You know, and I think maybe it's a stronger story if it's a standalone too.
Like, don't push it.
Oh yeah, and then I started 5 Midnights by I think Anne Cardinal. Yep, and this is like a Puerto Rican YA thriller with horror elements, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I think I mentioned that I've heard a lot of mixed things about this, but I'm really enjoying it. It's published by Tor, and they do kind of creepy, thrillery books really well. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm really engrossed in the characters so far, and the book is sufficiently dark. Like there's mention of, it's not just like spiritually dark, but also the things that people struggle with on an individual level. Like one of the characters is a recovering addict, for example. And sometimes like, I don't know, my issue with YA thrillers is that often they'll be dark in terms of like the horror and spiritual, but the characters themselves are so like untroubled, happy-go-lucky, unhaunted characters, which can make it difficult to relate to them because of who I am as a person.
You're
so
troubled and haunted.
yeah, because I'm all of those things. All right.
And you lost.
Starlah's gonna pick our word of the day, and I already know what it's gonna be. So if you made it this far,
Loser.
okay, I was gonna think lose, but like we had to add the.
Oh, right.
No, that's fine. That's
No,
fine.
no.
Just call me a whole loser. It's fine. Let's just.
It can be.
No, don't change it.
It's the winner.
Fucking God. If you made it this far in the video, if you'd like to show me. Putting the glass down.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were starting again.
If you would like to show me you made it this far in the video, comment down below with the word
Loser. Did you watch that SpongeBob episode where he meets that like popular guy, the jellyfish guy? Do you know what I'm talking about? And like they do the, and then he like blows the thing. And it's
loser. Oh yes, yes. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, so comment down below with the word loser if you made it this far. I hate you.
It's okay, I love.
Act like it.
I do.
Well, if you liked
I
this
like
video,
my outro better.
it's not your channel. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would absolutely love it if you became a part of my dapper family.
I hate you.
Feel free to hit that notification bell so that you never miss any content from Bow Ties and Books. And if you'd like more daily content, follow me on my Bookstagram, Bow Ties and Books, because I basically live and pay rent to Bookstagram at this point. Stay sharp, and I will see you in my next video.
Bye.